Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how I plant lemongrass seeds. These are lemongrass seeds which I had tested for germination on February the 11th. Today is the 22nd, so we're 11 days in, and many of them have germinated. Typically lemongrass, it takes a while to germinate. These are the seeds that I'll be planting. These are from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. Anyway, what the package says is they take a while to germinate, 3 to 5 weeks. They need 70-degree temperature. They prefer not to be in direct sunlight. Let them grow on in indirect sunlight until they're large enough, and then you would then transplant them, so prick them out when they're little, put them into larger containers and keep them in a pot, and then gradually acclimate them to the outdoor climate. Now, when you germinate them in a Ziploc bag, and I did this because I wanted to test their viability, and you can see here that they have germinated. I'm not sure if you can see the little stems that come off. So because they germinated in a Ziploc bag, the conditions were the right climate in there. It's like a mini greenhouse, and they germinated quickly. So I'm going to show you how I will pot up these tiny little seedlings. So taking them out of the bag, and I had started 11 seeds. So 11 out of 11 seeds, most of them germinated. I'm going to take them out, open them up. I want to show you here how many of them have germinated. So take a peek there. See, there's little ones. So what I'm going to do, rather than pulling them off, I'm going to cut off the little pieces off the paper towel. And by doing so, I am not disturbing their tiny roots, which are fragile and delicate. So out of the 11 that I put in here, not all of them germinated. I have 1, 2, 3 really good ones. What I'll do with the rest is I will put them back in the Ziploc bag. I'm not sure if, it looked like a lot more had germinated, but now that I look at them actually, it doesn't look like they've reached that stage yet, so possibly. But anyway, here we go. Take out the first one. So I'm cutting out the pair of sharp scissors. I'm not sure if you can see this, I'm going to direct the camera down a bit. There we go. So I'm cutting out the little tiny baby seedling. Here we go. Here it is. See how tiny it is? So what I'll do with it is, now the package says, and actually surface sow. So what I'm going to do is open up the little space. Hold on the camera. You could help. Maybe you could see it this way. And I'll put this little sheet just on the soil, and I'll cover it up a tiny bit just to hold it in place. It says to surface sow, so if I was dry sowing these, if I was just to place seed directly onto the soil, I would just place it on the soil and water the soil. But in this case, I'm leaving a tiny little, it's really hard to see it, but it's right here, and it's just a tiny opening. So I'm going to do this for the next one. So looking for the next germinated seedling, little seed I mean. This is it right here. You can see me, I hope. Just cutting around, really delicate, not to disturb it, because at this stage, these tiny little seedlings are so fragile that if you touch them, when they're at this stage, if you touch them in the wrong place or you put a little bit too much force, they will die. So here's another one. See it? There it is. Tiny little thing. I'm going to make a little gap again in the soil. And I'm going to put this little seedling in with the paper. The paper will decompose with time, so you don't have to worry about removing it. And I'm just placing the soil around it, leaving the stem to stick upright. It's very hard to see. I'm not sure if you will, but but it's right there. It's very hard to see. It's teeny tiny. So I've planted 3, and I have 1 more left, which is this one here. These are not yet ready. These have not quite germinated, and it does on the package say that it takes 3 to 5 weeks. So possibly there's still a chance for it to germinate, but I want to get these out of this little wet paper towel before they get too large and expire. Oops, seed came off. Before they get too large and die and the other ones don't do anything. So no point waiting for them all to germinate when I can just plant out the ones that have. Okay, so there it is, teeny tiny little seedling. So I put 1 here, 1 here. I'm going to put another one right over here, make a little spot, place it in there, kind of tuck the soil around the paper, but the little seedling stem is sticking out. Not sure if you could see it, but there's one. There it is. You could see that one. And right there, the other one. It's very hard to see. And this one is not quite sticking out, but it is surrounded. So when it's ready, it'll face up. And that's it. So give you an idea though, a little hint, when you're using a pot, if you don't want the soil to fall out from the bottom, I recommend putting like a coffee filter or a paper towel. In this case, I just cut out a piece of paper towel like this. I cut it to size and I place it at the bottom. And I am going to water this now because this is fresh seedless potting mix, seedless soil, but I want to water it a bit. And I have this handy little watering nozzle like this. It's perfect for seedlings because it lets out a little stream and it won't be too aggressive. I'll water that. I'm going to let that settle for a little bit and then I'm going to water it again. And these I'll keep on my counter here in my kitchen, but out of direct sunlight so they don't burn, and I'll just watch them. And they'll grow very, very slowly, and when they're large enough, then I will take them out and transplant them, but that'll be a long journey. So I suspect that these will not be harvested. Probably take about 2 years to grow lemongrass from seed. So it takes some patience, but it's a fun little plant. And in the summertime, I probably will put it in my greenhouse, but it's not necessary. You just have to be sure when you bring it back in the house that you make sure you check it for bugs and you acclimatize it back to the inside. You don't want to go from beautiful conditions to indoor temperatures, which can fluctuate. There could be air conditioning. So the same way that we harden off seedlings when we take them outside for planting, you want to do the same kind of thing when you bring them back in the house, just a gradual inside-outside. If you have a greenhouse, it would be an easier transition, a quicker transition, but it's not impossible. You could even bring it into the garage, and that'll be a great transition because the climate is closer to the outside. So here, I've watered it. I'm going to do it again. It doesn't need a lot of water because there is no root yet, but just so it doesn't dry out, so I'm really watering just the surface. Just a little bit of light trickle. Okay, and that's it. And that's how you pot up lemongrass from seed. So now I'm going to, just to show you, I will keep this in this Ziploc, so I'm just going to close it up again, see if any more shall germinate. This guy's exposed. Oh, I think he's fine. And now I'm going to, now it is wet, I'm going to put this back in the Ziploc bag. So 3 out of 11 are not great numbers, so, but when you do it this way, you get to select the ones that have germinated. You haven't really wasted soil, you haven't wasted time. You could always start another one. It's only been 11 days. You can seed extra if you'd like. I'm just testing 11, but it just goes to show you that the germination rate is less than 30% for these seeds at this point, 11 days in. It says 3 to 5 weeks on the seed package. I will give it a couple more weeks. If none of these germinate, then I'll probably, or I could start another one of these in the meantime, or I can wait and see what happens. It depends on if you're in a rush or not. So anyway, these are planted. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Talk to you all soon. Bye for now.